Hello, this is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is Opportunities in Sales Pipeline. So, we're going to go over the basic functions of how to create and manage your opportunities within Command. These are like your transactions that you have, your buyers, your sellers, your leases. And then also towards the end of class, we will actually go through the sales pipeline. How do you get started from the time you meet the contact to the closing table? What all needs to happen within Command to get you paid at the closing table, essentially? So I will go through all of that with you. If you're here with me live, you can definitely, again, drop those questions and comments in the chat. I'll be happy to help you either in real time or I'll save a couple of minutes after class to help get those questions answered for you. And if you're watching this back on recording, you can always reach out to us by email with any questions or issues that you might be having. Our email address is support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'll be happy to help. So, what is an opportunity to begin with? Let's go over here to your opportunities tab within Command, and I'll just give you a glimpse here. If you're not super familiar, by the way, with the icons yet in Command, you can always click this red square at the top and pop out the names and click it again if you want to hide them again. But your opportunities icon is right here, two hands shaking. So this is where you would handle your transactions, so to speak. So if you have a buyer that's beginning to shop with you or you are pursuing that real estate relationship with them, maybe it's a listing, a seller that you are starting to develop that relationship and want to schedule that appointment with so that you can get the listing. Also, if it's a landlord that has a property that they want to put on the market, or someone that's looking to lease a property in any of those situations for those transactions, you can come here within Command to create an opportunity. So we're going to walk through again just some basic functions of that opportunity. I'm going to give you a general navigation of your opportunities dashboard that you can see here on your screen. And then again, towards the end of class, we'll actually go from start to finish so you can see it play out each step of the way through an opportunity from the time you meet that contact to the time that you actually close that transaction. So right here on your opportunities dashboard, you'll see these visual graphics here that are sales pipelines. The top one is listings. Scroll down a little and you'll see one for buyers, leases, and then towards the bottom, we have just some more visual graphics that I'll cover here in just a second. But for these sales pipelines right here, let me scroll back up so you can see it. There's 5 phases of the sales pipeline. The first is a cultivate phase. This is when you're just getting to know that contact. Maybe you're still even collecting contact information for them and trying to make that initial introduction and have that real estate conversation with them. You're developing or cultivating that relationship so that you can schedule that appointment with them. And so your next phase is appointment. This is when you schedule the appointment, hold the appointment, any prep work you need to do for that appointment. The next phase is active. This means you've put ink on paper. That buyer is now shopping exclusively with you, or that listing is now yours and going active on the MLS. Next phase is pretty self-explanatory, under contract, and then closed. The only little difference here between the sales pipelines, you'll notice the ones for listing and the one for buyers, they're the same, cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and closed. But if we go down to leases, instead of under contract, it's just called pending. Okay. So for those 5 phases, those stay the same. Those can't be customized, but there is a way to customize your sales pipeline that I'll go through with you before the end of class today so that you can really customize and tailor this to your own business. But for the 5 phases, those do stay the same in the sales pipeline. And in these graphics, you'll notice underneath the little clickable images, you have a number in a bubble that shows you how many opportunities you actually have within that particular phase. So you can see here we have one opportunity in the cultivate phase, and it's a listing. Below that, it shows you the volume for all the opportunities in that phase, and then also the average time that they spend in that particular phase. So The more opportunities you have, the further you go along in business, you'll start to see these numbers update and show you your average time for your business. As you see over here on the right-hand side, you also have a GCI, gross commission income estimator, I guess you could say. It shows you potential income. Now, that's the potential income you stand to make based on all the opportunities you have in that particular sales pipeline. So, this estimate here would be for your listings sales pipeline. And as you come down, you'll see this information is at the end of each sales pipeline and will show you estimates for each one. The potential income is the total potential you stand to make if all of the opportunities in that sales pipeline actually make it to the closing table. Your probable income is more likely what you will get based on the likelihood that the opportunities in all the different phases actually make it to the closing table. So, for instance, I think in the cultivate stage, there's only like a 5% chance that that opportunity actually makes it all the way to the closing table. And so, or the closed phase, I should say. And so this is based on those probabilities and will predict what your probable income will be if all of the opportunities play out in your listing pipeline. Same for your buyer and your leasing. Okay. As we scroll down a little further down below, remember the additional graphics I mentioned? This is just another way to actually visually see your business and keep a pulse on it. So right here we have a ratio graphic that you can see. Remember the color coding on the sales pipelines? So listings are green, buyers are that red orange color, and then leases are purple. So this is just showing you the percentage of your business that's made up of each one of those. So currently we're 50% listings and 50% buyers. You'll also see just a little chart here, bringing in that information from that GCI, the probable and potential GCI, and showing you what you stand to make. Okay. To the right of that is an activity tracker for your opportunities. You can kind of see where your busy season is and where it kind of dips off. So ours right here, you can see we had a spike in business in February going into March. You can toggle between all your opportunities to look at a particular type of opportunity here as well, just to see your activity. Like maybe you were doing a campaign trying to get more listings, so you could come here and look at your listings activity to see if they started trending up as a result from your marketing that you were doing, just as an example. Below that, you'll see closings for this month. If you have anything scheduled to close within the current month, that opportunity will be listed down here at the bottom just to help you have a quick glance. Okay. That is your opportunities dashboard. I'm going to scroll back up to the top here and let's actually walk through creating an opportunity together. One quick thing I do want to point out, we get a lot of questions about this. If you have opportunities that make it to the closed phase, you will see them in this closed phase in that little bubble for up to 30 days after closing. After 30 days, it does drop off your sales pipeline here so that you no longer see it in the visual graphic of your sales pipeline, but you can always find all of your opportunities right here underneath the All Opportunities tab. If you come back here, you can sit here and filter through all of your opportunities, find ones that are archived, marked lost, ones that have closed over 30 days ago. You can also find your active ones back here too. So this is just a place where you can come and easily start filtering and searching through your opportunities if you need to. This is a little bit more functional when you're looking for a particular opportunity sometimes than actually coming over here to your dashboard and trying to hunt and peck through your sales pipeline. Okay. So we'll revisit this sales pipeline shortly. You can notice those graphics are clickable, and I'll show you how to get in there to your sales pipeline and click into those in just a minute after we make our opportunity. It'll make a little more sense after I show you this first piece. So when you need to create an opportunity, you can click the button right here in the top right-hand corner. And this is what it looks like to fill in the information to create that opportunity. The top left, your market center. If you are part of multiple market centers, just make sure that you choose the appropriate market center for that opportunity. This cannot be changed once you create the opportunity. You would actually have to archive the opportunity and create a brand new one if you got the wrong market center on there. So definitely make sure that's underneath the right market center for you. If you're on a team or maybe multiple market centers and teams, you would want to make sure the right team is showing right here on the top right. Opportunity type, listing, buyer, landlord, or tenant. Just choose whichever one is appropriate for the type of opportunity. And owner, this more than likely will always be set to you unless you are on a team. So you probably don't have to mess with that one too much. Coming on down, client. Now, don't be alarmed when you put your cursor here and it says no options. As soon as you begin typing, it will actually suggest people from your command database. So you can start typing here and it will show you the people you have in your database that you can choose from, or you can add a new contact from right here. So whichever one is applicable, go ahead and choose that. If there's a co-seller or co-buyer, you can also enter that information here. The opportunity name, it does automatically populate for you. This is a listing opportunity, so you can leave it like this for the person's name slash listing if you want, but maybe it's easier for you to track things based on the address. So we'll go ahead and put in the address. Again, personalize this for your business, whatever helps you at a glance be able to identify who that opportunity is for. And then custom tags. Now, these are separate from contact tags. If you've taken our database class or you've gotten into your command database at all, you'll notice there are tags there. It's essentially a label. It's just a different way to organize your contacts. You label them like buyer, seller, family, referral. You get the point. Well, opportunity tags, while completely separate from the contacts tab, they essentially work the same way. These are ways that you can label and organize your opportunities. Like maybe you have a niche in the market. Maybe you like to do military or senior. So you can make those tags here. And later on, if you want to come back and look at your business and look at your opportunities, you can actually filter to see how many opportunities you had that were military that year or that quarter, things like that. So if it's a way that you plan on organizing your opportunities or being able to track a certain aspect of your business, maybe go ahead and make a custom tag out of it for your opportunities as one way to help you track that. So we can just go ahead and start typing military here. We don't have that tag created just yet, so it gives you the option to create that tag. So we can put that here. Maybe it's also a senior. Do that. Maybe it's also a relo. Go ahead and create that tag too. So again, you can add as many tags as you like. This is just you internally within your command, a way to track your opportunities. Coming on down, you'll see estimated close date. Now, you may not have that right now. So you'll notice it does not have a red asterisk beside it. You don't have to fill it in yet. And the information down here at the bottom, this can all be updated after you've created the opportunity. So you don't have to overthink it too bad. You can always come in and change and edit the opportunity name, the tags, even the contacts that are on this opportunity. All of that can be adjusted later if you need to. Time frame. If you happen to know it, great. You can go ahead and put it on here for you if you want. The estimated list price, if you have it. Now, these three fields do have a red asterisk, so they do need to be set to something in order to create the opportunity. So for a commission rate, you can go ahead and enter that. Opportunity phase and stage. Now, remember I showed you your five phases, right, for an opportunity? And so we can see three of them here. it assumes that you're not creating an opportunity and immediately going under contract. Chances are you've created the opportunity a little earlier in the phase. So that's why it gives you these first three phases to choose from. So we'll just say our little guy is going to be in the cultivate phase. Under each phase, there's also stages. So, like for cultivate, you have a watch, a nurture, and a hot stage. This will make more sense in just a second when I show these graphically to you, but you get to choose which stage of the phase that this opportunity is in. Let's say this is a person you've already talked to, had the real estate conversation with, and now maybe you're just discussing when you might hold that appointment. So we'll go ahead and mark them as hot. Once you've filled out all the fields that have the red asterisks, you can go ahead and click create, and this will make the opportunity for you. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of our existing opportunities. So I'm just going to X this out, and I'm going to open an opportunity and show you what it looks like once you have it created. So I'm going to go here to our all opportunities and just click on our demo. And this is what it looks like when you actually have an opportunity open. So let's do some general navigation just to let you get familiar with what all is here. Please know that a listing opportunity actually has two extra things, extra features, if you will, than a buyer and a lease opportunity. The first is at the top, you'll notice you have your contact linked here, and it is a hyperlink. If I need at any point to go and check out this contact, I can simply click on them and it will take me to that contact's information and command. But here's a special thing for a listing opportunity. It also lets you link a listing to this opportunity as well, and it will help populate that information throughout the opportunity, even down here in the details page. So you can select a listing. Don't be alarmed if it says no listings right here. If you don't have your MLS synced to your command, then likely you'll see this because no listings will come up, but you can still find the listing to add it to your opportunity. You'll just search by one of these two options here. MLS number is usually the best. It is more accurate. And then over to the right, you can just choose to see all listings instead of just your listings. Click search KWLS. You can see we have 10 results. So we'll just scroll down until we find the particular listing that we're looking for. And it's down here in the bottom left. You can compare the address, see the status that it's in. You can also double check that MLS number and the listing agent. And when you're sure that this is the listing that the opportunity is for, you can just select it and then click away from the gray box. And now you see our address is linked up here to this opportunity. And it even filled in the information for you right here on the property section as well. That's one thing that you will see in a listing opportunity that you won't see in the others. And I'll show you the other item in just a second. Let's look at our tabs here across the top. You'll notice this is the details tab. As I scroll down, the self-explanatory, it's all the details to do with your opportunity, like property information, all the information we filled out when we were forming the opportunity. You can see that here. There's little edit pencils that you can come in and adjust this information at any time. If we scroll down, there's also key dates. Definitely want to highlight this to you as this opportunity moves through its process and the phases. You will likely want to come back here to key dates and make sure that you have these dates updated on the details tab because it will serve you well and help cut some corners for you later when you're filling out things to do with this opportunity. So as you begin to have things scheduled, like an appointment date, agreement one, photography date, and so on, just come here and click this edit pencil to update those key dates on your detail page. This is pretty extensive page here. You can go through and look through all the items. when you have more time. But let's move on to the marketing tab. This is the second thing. Remember, I said there's two things that a listing opportunity has that others don't. A marketing tab is right here for your listings, and it's shortcuts to help you create marketing pieces, create paid ad campaigns, designs, all kinds of goodies in here. It gives you recommendations as well for things to create for this listing. And because we linked our property to the opportunity up here, whenever you click to go create any of these designs, it will automatically have that information already pulled up and ready for you. So you just drag and drop images or text right into your marketing piece. Again, saving you some steps. We have an entire class that goes over opportunity marketing and checklists. So definitely go ahead and check that class out. The archive is on our YouTube channel. Let me drop those links again, especially for the folks that just are joining us here. And so you can definitely find that class archive and it will go a deep dive into opportunities. It's kind of like a part two to this class. We deep dive into the marketing tab and also checklists, which are a piece of being able to customize your opportunity sales pipeline to fit your business. We'll touch on that before the end of class a little bit more. But again, opportunity marketing and checklists class is where the deep dive into that is. Fun fact as well, this marketing tab, it will update and recommend different items based on the phase your opportunity is in. So like we're in the cultivate phase right now. So it has like things that you would typically talk to a potential seller about or show them. As it moves through to like the appointment phase, the active phase, things like that, the recommendations for the designs down here change and are in line with that. So it's really cool to come back and check on that marketing tab as your opportunity moves through the different phases. Documents tab. Self-explanatory, but a really great tool in your opportunity is this documents tab because you'll come over here to the left and choose a particular checklist that you need for this opportunity, like if it was new construction or a land listing, what have you. Chances are your market center may have a different checklist over here for you for compliance. So you'll just go ahead and mark whichever fits this particular opportunity. Every market center's compliance checklists are different, so you will most likely see something different on your screen than what I'm showing here. And you may have more or fewer options for a checklist. But once you choose that checklist, all the all the documents that you will need to turn into your market center will be listed right here to help you out so you'll know what to take to an appointment or what to get signed by your client. We will come back and deep dive into this in just a few moments when we start moving through our sales pipeline together. Just to touch on the last few tabs that are here within an opportunity, you have offers and commissions. This is where you submit offers into your command opportunity, as well as create your commission requests. Notes are pretty self-explanatory, any notes for your opportunity. And you do have a timeline over here on the far right where you can go back through the history of your opportunity if you need to look for something specific. Okay. And just to touch on the little things up here at the top, you'll see client updates mentioned. This is a really neat feature of opportunities. We have a tech tip video on our YouTube channel that will show you the 3 things you need to do to actually set them up. But the client update is an automated email that Command will send out to your client for you on your behalf. It is a one-time each day update that shows them what tasks have been completed for their opportunity. It sounds good and bad, but you control what they do and do not get to know. So if that takes away any anxiety that just caused about an automated email going out to your clients, but you do get to control what particular tasks they do see and which ones they get to see are done. So It's actually really good leverage once you have a system down for your opportunities. It's really nice to have the system just give a daily update to your clients if you want it to. You also get the control of which clients get these and which don't. So if you have a client that is, extra grace needed, they want a lot of handholding, they want a lot of updates, this might be a great option. And if you have a client that essentially maybe they're a seasoned investor and they do not want to hear from you unless it's talking contracts. So maybe you could turn those off for this particular client. So you have some options there, but that is what it's referencing, the client updates at the top right. Again, there's three things to do to get those turned on successfully. So definitely check out that tech tip video to find that out. And then you have tasks for each one of your opportunities. I'm going to go ahead and open this up to show you. This is where a lot of consistency can come for you in the value that you are adding to your clients. If there are certain things that you know you want to provide and do for every single opportunity that happens, this is where you can make sure your tasks are added in. Now, we're looking at tasks for one particular opportunity. I'm going to show you how you can edit that for this one opportunity. But in just a minute, I'm actually going to show you where you can create checklist templates so that every new opportunity you create already has tasks in place so you are not having to recreate the wheel with every new opportunity. There is a way you can create a checklist template that will apply to all future opportunities so you're not having to manually come in and add tasks for one opportunity at a time. It is nice, though, to have the opportunity, excuse me, to have the chance within an opportunity to come in and adjust these tasks if you need to. Going back to our comment about if you have a seasoned investor that really does not want a lot of contact, it doesn't want a lot of hand holding, you could come in here and remove some of these tasks or mark them as complete, remove them. If you do have somebody that needs a little extra grace applied, maybe there's a little extra that they're needing or hand holding, whatever it is, you can come in and add tasks to their particular opportunity so that you're doing a little more hands-on. So you do have the control to do that as well. You'll notice here within your tasks list that you have all 5 phases of your sales pipeline. We currently have 3 tasks created underneath our cultivate phase. When you hover over, you can add a due date. By the way, remember the details tab that I first started out with and showed you the key dates to fill in? One of the great features about the opportunity is when you set a due date for a task, let's go ahead and open this guy. You can actually set a due date based on one of those key dates. It's called a smart due date. So let's say for this particular task, we want it to be due on the exact same day as one of our key dates. So we can choose that and choose the actual key date that we want it to be due on. So we'll just say on the appointment date, and we can schedule this task to be due on that same date of the appointment date. It's whatever date you entered into that details tab. The other option for the task too, or one of the other options, is before or after a smart due date. Let's say you have a task to do a follow-up phone call and you always want it to be scheduled like 2 weeks after the closing date so that you're reaching back out to see how those folks are getting settled in and make sure they haven't had any surprises in their house, right? So you can come here and schedule a task to be due, let's say, 2 weeks after and choose your date. So we'll say close date, and then you can reschedule. You can also adjust the time. Instead of all day, you can choose the time of day for your task too. So lots of good options in here for these tasks. I just wanted to make sure you knew about those smart due dates, but you can come in here and add due dates, mark them complete. You also have some edit and archive options, and you can check them off when they're complete as well. If you ever need to, you can come to your next phases and start creating tasks under these as well for each phase. Okay. We'll go ahead and click done on those tasks. Again, this was within one opportunity. I want to show you now when the opportunity is created, number one, where do you go find it, right? So when we come over here to our opportunities tab, how do we go locate that same opportunity quickly? And then also, how do you edit and move an opportunity through the phases? That brings us back to our opportunities tab here and our pipeline. Okay, our 5 phases in our pipeline. We'll just use our listing sales pipeline as an example, but all the sales pipelines here that are on your dashboard will function in the same way that I'm fixing to show you. So our little opportunity guy, he lives right here in this cultivate phase. So we literally can just click into our sales pipeline by clicking on the graphic. And this is what it looks like. These little cards that you see, that's an opportunity. Here's our 5 phases and those stages that I told you about that you have under each phase. So for cultivate phase, we have watch, nurture, and hot. If we click over to the appointment phase, we have scheduling, scheduled, kept, active, staging, showing, negotiations, legacy over there to the far right, under contract, escrow, inspections, appraisal, and more. And then your closed phase has closed and legacy. Now, the stages underneath each one of these phases can be customized by you. You can change the name, you can remove them, you can add more. Okay. I'm going to come back to our phase here. So while the 5 phases at the top can't be changed, you have autonomy to come in and change these stages. You would do that right over here to the right with the stages and checklist. Remember when I said there's a way to create a checklist template that will apply to all your future opportunities? This is also that same place that you will come to make changes to your stages and your checklist. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and show you what it looks like. Now we were underneath the Cultivate tab. So this is where you come and you can actually reorder your stages, drag and drop. You can click the pencil over here to edit the names of them. If it doesn't apply to you at all, you can click the trash can and delete them. You can click the plus button to actually add a brand new stage. And then the checklist. Remember the checklist I mentioned? This is where you can come and create those templates. So let's say whenever your buyer, excuse me, we're in your listing sales pipeline in the Cultivate. If they get to the hot stage, you'll have certain tasks that you want to be completed at that point. You can come here and add that task, like schedule appointment, and go through and decide what type of task this is, add the description, any hyperlink you might need, set a priority level, and then set a due date right here based on whatever you would like it to be based on, and then create. And now you've created that task. You can come in here and put these in different order, add or subtract tasks. And I even have a little freebie for you guys from KW. I'm going to drop it in the link or drop it in the chat for you. This is a listing checklist template. So what this means is it is free tasks that they've already spelled out for you that you can literally copy and paste in here. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. These are all tasks for like the cultivate phase in the watch stage. Here are different tasks that you can add to your templates to help you out so you're not having to recreate the wheel. So I'm dropping the link in the chat for the guys that are here with us live. If you're watching this back on recording, it will be within the description of the video on YouTube. But this is going to help you not have to recreate the wheel. So let's say we want to take this particular task so we can copy it, go back to our opportunities in the checklist tasks, add tasks, and paste. decide what that is. So maybe that would be an other, fill in your information, your priority, and set your due date and create. So that's how you can create these checklist templates. And once they're created, again, they'll apply to all future opportunities you create. And we'll go ahead and save. Oh, and by the way, you can come in here and move these in different order and things like that. So we'll go ahead and save that. But that is where you can come in and edit the stages and checklist. That class opportunity marketing and checklist deep dives into this. So definitely check that out. We'll come back to our opportunities pipeline here. We're in the listings pipeline. And I just want to show you how you can move your opportunity through the phases. You just simply drag and drop like so until it turns green. Can you see the active behind the opportunity here? And it turned green. Lets you know the opportunity has been updated. So now we can come over here to our active phase and see our opportunity. I can always come and quick click on the task to grab it if I need to. And you also have options to jump into the details for this opportunity or to archive it if you need to. Okay. That's how you would jump in and edit your opportunities, move them through the pipeline. This is how you can edit and customize your pipeline to be more geared towards your particular business. So let's actually go and talk about the sales pipeline in general. From the time you meet the contact to the time you get to closing, what all needs to be done within your command. So a little teeny weeny bit of prep work before getting started on your opportunities, the sales pipeline, is you'll want to make sure that your signature platform like DocuSign or Dotloop is linked to your command. If your market center uses DocuSign or Dotloop, again, just make sure that it is linked to your command so that you can use that through your opportunities and it's linked properly. I'm just going to show you where that would live. It would be over here beside your name. When you click your name in the top right and you go to settings, this is your applications page in command. And for DocuSign or .loop, you'll want to make sure these are in connected status. So if it shows not connected right here, feel free to reach out to us here at Scott Leroy Marketing, and we can definitely look into that for you to either make sure you have a KW DocuSign set up, and then also to make sure that it is linked properly to command. But if you're using either one of those platforms, it's always good to make sure they're connected to command prior to creating your opportunities. So now let's go over to our opportunities tab. You will have created that opportunity, right? Like we did at the beginning, we created our opportunity. And so now you'll want to open your opportunity and begin filling out the details. So we had moved our little guy here to this active phase. So I'm going to click in and grab him. Let's go ahead and move him back to the cultivate stage too. So here he is. I'm going to click in to the opportunity to open it up. We already linked our listing to the top of the opportunity. If it is a buyer opportunity or a lease and you don't have the option to link the property here, you can just come right here to the property field. And again, click on that edit pencil to open this up so that you can add in all the information that you want to. We'll go ahead and click cancel because our information already is there. But you would want to come through and make sure the details of your opportunity are updated as much as possible. These details will help you to not only populate on things like I showed you with your tasks and stuff like that, but also when you start jumping into your documents like DocuSign, this information will feed automatically over into your DocuSign account and populate on your forms for you so that you're not having to fill in the address or the contact's name a million times. So first stop, hit your details tab and make sure it's completely up to date. And it's a good idea to revisit this continuously as the opportunity moves along through the pipeline. Once you've done that, you'll come to your Documents tab. Remember, I mentioned on the left-hand side, just make sure that your compliance checklist is chosen. Market centers might have more than one. And once you've done that, the forms that you need for this particular part of your opportunity, like listed, when it goes under contract, and also when it's closed, you will notice that the forms over here change. It will tell you the ones that are required and the name of that document. If we scroll down, you'll see ones that are optional, and there should be conditional. Let's see if we can find a conditional so I can show it to you. Looks like these are all required or optional. Okay, so for this particular market center with the list, they don't have a conditional, but you may see more of a pink colored label and it say conditional on some of your checklists. So this lets you know what forms you need to have to go to your appointment, like your listing appointment for this. If it's a buyer's opportunity, you'll see the forms that you need to go under contract with that particular buyer, things like that. To get to these forms, to actually get to them where you can edit them and begin sending them for signature, in most cases, if your market center uses DocuSign or .loop, you will come right here to click Start a Transaction. When you do, it will open a new tab and create a DocuSign room. It's a space within DocuSign. Think of like a file folder, to where you can go in and get all your documents, edit them, and send them for signature. Same with .loop as well. It would open a new tab here, create a loop for you, and you can access your forms. Now, there are some exceptions, like our California agents, our Canadian agents. For your particular areas, you may use a different platform to get your contracts. And if that's the case, you'll just want to speak with your market center that can guide you through that. In some cases, it's going to be like your MLS board that provides your forms, or you might use zip forms to get them. So for those particular areas, definitely check with your market center. But in most cases, you'll come right here to start a transaction, and this opportunity will link with either DocuSign or .loop so that you can go get your forms, fill them out, and send them for signatures. We do have another class called DocuSign 101, and it picks up right here at this point and shows you how to get in there and get your forms, edit, send for signature, things like that. So definitely check that out if you aren't super familiar with DocuSign just yet. So at this point, let's say you're going under, or excuse me, I'm using the wrong term. You are going to a listing appointment with the seller and getting your listing document signed. You started a transaction right here and went into DocuSign, got your forms, filled them out, got the signatures on them. And now you'll need to turn those into your market center for compliance. So you would simply come right here into your opportunities and your documents tab, and you can either browse your device to pull in those signed documents, or if we had linked DocuSign right here to this opportunity, we would have the option just to click on a drop-down menu right here and automatically add those documents from within DocuSign right into our opportunity without having to manually download and upload. Excuse me. So you have that luxury with .loop or DocuSign. Whenever you do have it properly linked to your command, you'd simply be able to add those with a drop-down menu here. I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like when you pull it from your device. You literally can just drag and drop over into your opportunity to add those documents. It really works. Hold on a second. There we go. I just didn't hold my mouth right. All right. And so you see the green banner that says your document is uploaded. Now you can see the document right here. And this is what it looks like. You have it changed to uploaded status. Once you get all of your required documents uploaded by either dragging and dropping, finding it from your computer, or bringing it directly in from DocuSign or .loop, and everything showing an uploaded status, you would just simply come right here to submit to MC. This sends that folder of documents over to your Market Center staff, and they get to check it now for compliance. Once they do, if they have any feedback for you, if they need anything further, or maybe you're just the cat's meow and you got it right the first time and it's now approved, you would get a notification bell right here letting you know that it has come back from compliance. And you can always come to your documents tab right here within your opportunity to see any notes or comments or things that need to be changed. You would do the same with your listed folder. Once you go under contract and you add these documents, you submit to Market Center again and for closed. So since we were just talking about sitting down at a listing appointment and you have those listing documents filled out, you've submitted to Market Center, it's come back approved, right? You're good to go with compliance. Then you get an offer on the property or your buyer is making an offer if it was a buyer's opportunity. You would come to your offers and commissions tab right here, and you can create that offer by adding a new offer. It gives you some fields to fill out. It noticed that it automatically pulled in the address. If it didn't, you can always come right here to select from KWLS and find the address here. And you would just want to make sure that all the fields with the red asterisks are filled out. It will automatically populate your contact information that was on your opportunity. For the buyer info, you select what you want, fill in that information. You can mark if they're pre-approved or pre-qualified, and then you would enter the terms and dates. So you can just enter that here. Let's make it at least, there we go. I missed my 0. You can put in how much is cash, how much is your earnest money. Now you can put in the percentage or the amount, whichever one you prefer. Choose who holds it. And you can also put your close date here, the suggested close date, any contingencies, and any comments. Once you're done, you can either create the offer or create and accept. Now, don't worry if you hit accept and it changes, you can come back and change the answer on it. I'm just going to create the offer. Oop, I missed one. I'll create the offer here just so you can see what it looks like on the offer tab. So again, we're under the offers and commissions tab in an opportunity. And we can see one of our offers right here and it's in reviewing status. We haven't accepted it or rejected it yet. You do have the option to add multiple offers here. You can create multiple ones. So you can do that and also come back in and edit this offer or even remove if you need to. Once your buyer or seller, whoever, has decided to accept one of the offers, you can just choose accept. It lets you review it again, and it wants you to put in your contract date that it's been accepted on. So we'll go ahead and put today and save and accept offer. Once the offer has been saved and accepted, now look, our offers and commissions tab has now turned into a commissions request. If we need to ever go back and change the offer, you can always get there with this hyperlink right here for offers, and it would take us back over to the offers. Like if maybe now it's no longer accepted or there was a typo, for instance. But right here on your commissions request, you would fill in the needed information. Go ahead and check your edit or edit your general information to make sure this box is correct. You can come down, add co-brokers, add an outside referral, also add an agent for agent payment as well. Over to the right, you'll see a summary of the breakdown. And when you're ready, you would click submit to submit this commission request over to your market center. From there, they'll review it, approve it, and you'll get feedback and again, a notification and command that that commissions request has been approved. And then you're ready to go to closing. You'd come back to your documents. This time you would move over to your closed folder. Make sure you've added your closed documents. And for the final time, you would submit to Market Center to get that approved and get it finalized. Okay? And that's it for the sales pipeline, guys. That's from the time you meet the contact until the time you get to closing table each time that you need to submit to Market Center and that you need to fill in your offer and your commissions. And again, submit to Market Center one more time for your compliance. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and answer any questions that you might have here in class. And if you are watching this back on recording, you can always reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com and we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.